play, and Miramontes will attempt the extra point. Ball down, kick is on the way, and it's good. And for you folks on live stream, we lost the feed for a little bit, but I'll tell you what happened. They had a pitch to Xavier Stewart, and the young man from Minneapolis took it up the left sideline, and he goes 89 yards for a touchdown to make it 27-7.
Well, it's pretty obvious, at least on the first play, Vikes were going to try to stay on the ground. They got Stewart to the outside, and boy, he turned that corner and showed great speed. And good job of blocking by the Vikings that time, too.
And again, on live stream, we lost the actual feed, but thanks to our wonderful replay, we just saw it again. And Xavier Stewart, you're right, he showed some speed on that play.
He did. He outran several guys that had great angles. And he had got Ashton Stevens, a good tackler, had him twisted and turned around in midfield and just blew right by him.
Can we see that again? Captain,
yeah.
Thank you.
Here he comes. Now watch what he does to Stevens here. You can see
on,
it on
our live stream webcast.
Spins and goes right by him right there.
Man, and once he got in the open field, he was gone.
He was gone. Yeah, great run by Stewart. He's another player that's getting better and better each game that he plays.
Thank you, Chaz Matty. So let us see it again. All you folks watching on live stream, we appreciate it. All you listening on Stretch and on KMMO, folks, it's 28-7. That's 28 unanswered points by the Vikings. It's just big play after big play after big play. Now the ball falls off the tee. That's a 74-yard pass for a touchdown, an 89-yard run, a fumble recovery in the end zone, 3 of our 4 scores.
Oh, yeah, huge plays. They've turned this game completely around because I tell you, this was a very even game throughout most of this first half.
Well, it was here's the kick. It was that 16-yard run by Stewart and then the bomb that turned this thing around. Once again, here come the Ravens trying to get to the outside. Colton Johnson fighting through tacklers, staying on his feet, and he's finally pulled down on the far side at about the 27-yard line with 1:32 to go.
Yeah, I think Denny Reyes over there to bump him out of bounds and Darren Davis. Boy, give Johnson credit. He shook off about 5 tackles on that kick return and gets the ball out to about the, let's call it the 27-yard line. So Benedictine, a minute and a half to go here in the half, and let's see if the Vikes can get a pick here.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Oh, wow.
You're already up 28-7, so you want to make sure they don't score, but you could put another one on the board. Here is Noonan. They throw a little bubble screen out here, and that's going to go for maybe a yard or 2. The Vikings really pursuing on that play and coming all the way out there to help on the tackle for the Vikings was Taylor Moore, defensive lineman. He went way out in that bubble screen.
Yeah, Taylor showed pretty good quickness that time, and he's a pretty good-sized guy. He's 6'3", 242, but got outside quickly.
Again at halftime, Molly Keith. Here's a pass to the sideline. Akpom there drops this one. A good hit by LaQuentin Black. He hit him right in the breadbasket as the ball got there, and he couldn't hang on. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, as we said several times, LaQuentin Black giving away a lot of height, a lot of size, but he's staying with Akpom step for step and really did a good job jarring that away that time. So 2nd and 10, or third and 8.
Our young alumni of the year, Molly Keith, joins us. She's now captain at the Pentagon, a women's wrestler here, All-American. And
very well.
One of the greats in the coaching profession in Missouri, Hugh Dunn, will join us at halftime. Plus, we'll have the royalty. 3rd down and 7. Noonan back to throw. Phillips after him. He hits him just as he releases the ball, and it flutters incomplete. And the Vikings almost had their pick as Reyes dove for it, couldn't come up with it, but Ty Phillips with a big hit.
Ty was there. Nick Pula was there. Matalea was there. Good pressure by the Vikings that time, and Noonan didn't have a chance. So Vikes going to get it back with just under a minute to play, and should be fairly good field position as Tyler and LaQuentin are going to stand back about their own 25 to receive this punt. Much better than standing back about your own 10.
Boy, they are a pair of athletes, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
All right, here comes the punt. Rushes on. They almost get it. High spiral, and a fair catch called for, and it's fumbled. Just what the Vikings did not need. LaQuentin Black fumbled it. They're going to rule it a muff, and Benedictine gets it to 29. He was unsure. He looked over at Tyler Davis and then came up to catch it on the fair catch, and he went off his shoulder pad.
Well, we got to be sure we just don't want to compliment them. We said how good, how great a job they're doing, and look what happened. But they're still doing a great job.
Wow.
Still doing a great job. LaQuentin and Tyler, they won't make many mistakes back there. They've done a pretty sure-handed and done a good job. And now the defense has to step up and make a play here.
Well, Benedictine has all 3 timeouts left, I believe, so they've got plenty of time. 47.7 seconds to go. Let's see if the Vikings can stop them here. Noonan gets another chance, takes the snap, rushes on. He looks deep. He throws it into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. A lot of pushing and shoving going on there. And Akpom, I don't know who it was for Benedictine, but they get the touchdown. And I'll tell you what, Joe, the officials have to watch that. That receiver just shoved the defensive back. But it wasn't called, and the mistake hurts the Vikings. It's now 21-13 as they get the touchdown.
That hurts. That's going to give not only 7 points, but that's going to give Benedictine a lot of momentum going in at halftime. They were pretty well down just seconds ago. So, boy, a couple of big momentum swings in this game here in the first half.
So it is 28-13. Here's the extra point attempt. It's up, and
somebody got a hand on it.
It's no good. That could be a big point.
Somebody blocked that. Somebody got a hand on it. I couldn't see who it was, but somebody got a hand on that kick.
So the Vikings lead 28-13 with 39 seconds to go in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds. Viking Sports Network.
Marshall Family Practice has a special announcement. Marshall Family Practice has extended their hours of operation. Marshall Family Practice is now open 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. New extended hours at Marshall Family Practice provide better access to quality care. Call 660-886-7800. 886-7800. Marshall Family Practice, another service of Fitzgibbon Hospital, your regional healthcare provider.
Well, the muffed punt leads to a touchdown as Noonan throws it to Jordan Jackson. And Paul Troth was trying to illustrate to the official during that timeout of the offensive pass interference to no avail. So let's see now if Keenan wants to kick it deep. I don't know if it was Trip Thomas. Somebody got a hand on that extra point.
Yeah, the Vikings blocked that one away, and that's a big point right there.
Well, let's see if Keenan's going to kick it deep. Vikings better be ready for an onside kick here. And it's going to squib this one. It's going to roll through, and it's going to be picked up by Tyler Davis. Tyler to the 25, trying to reverse his field, brings it up to the sideline, across the 30, hit there, and down he goes at the 32. Good return. Vikings in pretty good field position.
Yeah,
here.
We're out far enough. We can go ahead and try to score again. We're at the 30, just shy of the 35-yard line, so let's see if we can maybe get this ball downfield. We still got a half a minute and maybe get at least a field goal out of it.
28-13, Valley with the lead. And they're going to mark this ball at the 34-yard line of Valley. 30 seconds to go in the half here at homecoming. Well, it was a big touchdown by Benedictine. Bruce Reyes will take the snap. He's played the entire way. Looks over the middle, throws it deep down the sideline, and this is almost intercepted by Stevens. He was trying to get the route trying to throw it to Jacoby Ballard. Ballard went to the sideline. He threw it down the middle, and Stevens got a couple of hands on it, couldn't hang on.
Yeah, Bruce has thrown the ball well all day. That was not a good pass there, though, and it is lucky that one wasn't intercepted. So the Vikes at least still have the football, second down and 10 with 23.7 seconds left in the half.
Maybe you take it to the locker room now. We'll see. Paul Trout likes to keep gambling here. Second down, they're going to throw again. Swing it to the side. Very safe pass to O'Neal, and he gets a few yards. Stays on his feet. Now reverses his field. Picks up a first down across the 45 to the 46. The Ravens thought he was going out of bounds. He stopped on a dime, stayed inbounds, picks up a first down at the 46 with 13.7 seconds remaining.
One good reason why the Vikings aren't playing it conservative here, and I'll say it in two words, Fabian Miramontes, the Vikings kicker. He's got good range, and we get him down there in decent position. He can bang a field goal here to end this half. So, I'd say you got to probably get the ball down to about the, around the 20-yard line to be in his range, but he's a pretty good kicker.
There's a timeout, and while we have a timeout, I look down the field, and Barry Rave is the defensive line coach, also the special teams coach. He can't be happy about that muff, but what he is happy about, I want to say congratulations to Barry and his wife, Courtney. They had their first child. Axel Clarence Rave was born on Friday, or a week ago Friday.
And Barry, one of the many coaches on this team that just does a super job. You look at this coaching staff, of course, Paul Trott, the head coach, but it's a team.
Yep.
It's a team effort, and Paul lets them all do what they do best, and they work well together, and that's why this program is so successful.
I know Barry's parents are down from Del Rapids, South Dakota, and so they're listening. Courtney's listening, and young Axel's probably listening to his first Viking game. We had the week off last week. Here's Reyes over the middle, and it is incomplete. He was trying to throw a seam pass to Cameron Hope, and it'll be second down with 9 seconds remaining.
Stephon Kelly looked like he was dancing. He put a bear hug on one of the defensive linemen. We got away with one. That could have been a holding call pretty easily right there. I don't know if he asked him if he wanted to dance or what, but he was working him over at the line of scrimmage.
Well, let's see what the Vikings want to do here, leading 28-13. Coach Stroff wants to try one more pass, I think.
Well, you try a little sideline pattern, hope maybe you can get out of bounds. If you can get it down deep enough, you might have a field goal shot.
So it is second down and 10. Reyes takes the snap, steps in the pocket, now tries to throw the screen, and that ball is batted down as Jonathan Bird can't come up with it. That's what they're going to try, this little screen over the middle. It'll be third down now. 4.9, you might as well throw it in the end zone. Hope you get a pass interference as the Vikings are going to take yet another timeout. We'll step aside as well on the Viking Sports Network.
I'm not quite sure what my kids would do without their kids' cuisine meals. Marie Callender pasta, banquet dinners, and pot pies, and Healthy Choice Cafe steamers are all part of the quality foods that ConAgra of Marshall continues to produce every day. ConAgra is a great place to work. They take pride in their company and our community, and they're committed to your continuous nutritional health. For all kinds of information about the company, the ConAgra Foundation, and how they give back to the community, visit ConAgraFoods.com.
It'll be third down, 4.9 seconds. You're probably down to your last play, barring a penalty. Vikings have used all the timeouts. Why not use them? You can't.
Oh, yeah.
Take
a shot at the end zone. We might get a defensive holding or pass interference and get a shot at a field goal.
Trips to the right side. As Reyes takes the snap, 3-man rush. He's going to throw it as far as he can. The ball is up in the air. It's batted down, and that will do it for the half. 28-13. Valley, an impressive first half. Both teams made a huge mistake. A fumble that was recovered in the end zone by the Vikings, and then a muff punt that led to a touchdown for Benedictine. But a pretty good football game. Number 3, Valley, leading number 12, Benedictine, 28-13 at the half at homecoming. We'll be back and start our activities in 1 minute on the Viking Sports Network.
Community Bank of Marshall is expanding to continue our tradition of quality personal one-on-one service to our customers. In the near future, you'll be able to take advantage of our third location in Marshall, located on the square. All our services will be available to our customers at our new location: drive-through, safety deposit boxes, loans, teller services, and more. I'm Dave Button, and once open, I'd like to invite you to come and see me at the new location on the square, where we continue to expand services to our customers every day. Community banking, the way it was meant to be. Member FDIC.
Headed back to your place for a cup of coffee. Little cream, little sugar. You debate. Should you show her your garage? Well, she didn't flip out over your Star Wars toy collection. She peeks her head in. One rusty truck minus an engine. Surrounded by scrap metal, iron, aluminum, copper, brass, junk. Game over. Just you and Chewy tonight. Should have gone to A&J Scrapyard. They'll buy that junk from you, including the truck. Or A&J Scrapyard can get you the parts you need to fix it. Call A&J Scrapyard in Higginsville. 660-584-2754.
We are back to Greg Mitchell. The Vikings lead at 28-13. Oh, I wanted more there, Joe. I didn't want that muff punt, but I guess you go back and we had the touchdown in the end zone, so get one, take one away, and it's still a 2-touchdown lead. Vikes get the ball to start the second half.
Well, I feel pretty good to be ahead 28-13 at halftime, because here with, into the second quarter, even I think it was tied 7-7 at the end of the first quarter, and even into the second quarter, I mean, it was anybody's game, and we were back on our heels deep in our own territory, and then we break that 74-yard touchdown pass from Bruce Reyes to Seth Martinko to put the Vikings ahead for the first time, and then that big recovery of the fumble in the end zone by Michael Barnes. And what a huge momentum swing in this. the Vikings really, although we gave up a little bit at the end, they've had big momentum since that time.
Well, and again, they had the 89-yard touchdown run when you thought they're going to run the clock out.
I know.
They've had some big, big plays in this game. It is halftime. We hope to have the homecoming royalty with us later on at the half. Emily said she'd bring Emily Fenewald. I guess I have to remember Skellett. Not Skellett anymore.
Not Skellett, no.
Emily Fenewald said she would bring the royalty up here. But we have a couple of very interesting guests for you at halftime. Coach Hugh Dunn, who, well, we'll just talk to Coach Dunn. I've known for a long time in the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. The football field at Macon's named after him. He still helps groom that field every week, and just a wonderful man and an alumni of this this college. And then Molly Keith, who was a women's wrestler here, All-American, went through the ROTC program to the Army. She's been decorated several times, been in Iraq, Afghanistan. Now she's in works at the Pentagon. So quite a success story there as well. So she will be our guest. Plus we'll have stats. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll get you to our halftime guests, and we'll hopefully have the royalty for you a little bit later on in our halftime show. Viking Sports Network, Vikes lead it 28-13.
Flower arrangements for your special occasion. From a single rose to a full wedding, memorial bouquets to candy bouquets. See all the possibilities and designs we can do. Don't forget, we have a wide selection of jewelry and home decor. The Victorian Rose, located on the east side of the Marshall Square.
Victorian Rose, floral and design. When you have something special to say.
It's halftime of the Benedictine Viking game, and it's really my pleasure to visit right now with Coach Hugh Dunn. Coach Dunn, longtime Macon coach, Valley alum. And Coach, many people may not know, you and I go back 30-some years when I was broadcasting Macon high school football games. We did this every Friday night, didn't we?
That's true. You did a good job with it, that's for sure.
Well, when you have a winning team and a class program, it's easy to cover. But you were an alumnus of this school, and you were a little All-American back after World War II in the 1940s, and now you're honored as the Alumnus of the Year. That's quite an honor. Congratulations to you, sir.
That is for sure. I don't know why it's me, but it is an honor.
Well, I knew you'd say that, but I can think of 1,000 reasons why it's you. Your family has been so important to you, not only your football family, but your family. We were just talking about your son, Todd, going to his football games. Bucky's going to football games. Your family's really is a big part of your life, isn't it?
Well, that's true. They've supported me all the way through, and it's been a great run, really, with our family. They're all good health. My daughter was involved with athletics down at Fairgrove. She's with us for the festivities, but of course Todd's up there, and Buck should have been a coach.
Yeah, it turned out to be a greenskeeper, by the way, at Macon, right?
That's right. He's done that for a long time.
And your wife, Peg, she was the PA announcer at Macon, and she's been by your side every step of the way. And I'll tell you what, it's really been special to know you. How about your time at Valley? What do you remember about your time at Valley and how it influenced your life, Coach?
Well, Coach Ashford and a friend of his at Harrisonville worked on me. I worked for a year after I graduated, but they kept after me and finally came down here, and I've never been sorry of it. They've asked me what it has meant to be at Valley, and I think more what would have been if I hadn't come to Valley. I wouldn't have known all of those kids that I played with and have stayed in touch with, and it's just been a great run for me.
Well, it has been, of course, 40 years coaching at Macon. You're in the Missouri Hall of Fame. The stadium at Macon's named after you. You're one of the most humble people I know, too. And I will tell everyone who's listening, you taught me a lot about the game and a lot about being a person, too. So that's important in your life, isn't it? All the people you've touched, all your players and coaches.
Oh, yes. It's good to have them come back and keep in touch, and it's been a great life that Peg put up with me for 63 years.
I remember one time you told me it was at a banquet. I don't know if you remember this or not. But you were Coach of the Year when I was working at Crest Radio, and you said your wife Peg put up with you. She was very good. She always waited for you to come home to do the dishes. So she always kept you humble, didn't she?
Oh, yes. We've had a great time.
Well, Coach, when I heard you were going to be getting this award, I couldn't be more thrilled because you mean that much to me as well. And congratulations. It's an honor to have you as a friend and an honor to you to have you as an alumni of Missouri Valley.
Well, it's a great honor for me, but I'd have to accept this for all the guys that made it possible for me to play down here. And I'm serious about that. Sam Keith, the center we had, I couldn't have played if it hadn't been that he could put the ball on the dime. So I've enjoyed it.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate all you've done for sports and this, for Valley, and especially when you used to cover Macon.
We had a good time. Coach Hugh Dunn's been our guest. Our guest at halftime is Molly Keith. Molly, a graduate of Missouri Valley College, outstanding alumni. First of all, ma'am, congratulations on this honor. Were you excited when you heard the news?
Well, yeah, thank you, Ken. I really appreciate it. And I was ecstatic, actually. I had no idea. When they called me, at first I was like, this has got to be a mistake. But I was really excited. I mean, Valley's very close to my heart, so I was really excited.
It wasn't that many years ago. A little bit about your background. Where did you grow up, and when did you come here?
So I grew up in Iowa, and I came here in 1999 to look at the women's wrestling program. It was the first year that they were launching the women's wrestling program, and I was wrestling in high school with the men, and I wanted to continue my wrestling career, and Valley was doing very well. So with their first year. So I came out here, and I loved it immediately. It was not too big of a school for me because I was coming from rural America myself, and I just loved it, and signed right away. And 4 years later, I stayed actually a couple of years and taught at Beaker Middle School.
You got a good education, and you did quite well on the wrestling mat as well, didn't you?
I did. I was an All-American twice, and I was on the USA wrestling team also once, and I got to travel overseas a couple times. And our team, even here at Valley, went to China one year, and I was on the team when we went to China, and that was a really fun trip.
Then ROTC got you into the Army. That's what you're doing now, right?
Yes. I was actually in the Guard in Iowa. I came here, and I was walking the halls, actually, of Valley, and I saw the ROTC sign, and I thought, I could do that. And I went and talked to the recruiter and did a couple of tests, made sure I was in a good physical
shape?
Yeah,
right?
physical shape, I guess, whatever, and make sure that I could see and everything was good. And 2 years later, I commissioned as an officer, so I was the first female that they had.
You're a captain now?
Yes.
And what are you doing now?
I'm stationed at the Pentagon. I'm in D.C., working for Comprehensive Soldier and Family Fitness. So big, long name. And basically we are working on resiliency in soldiers and kind of helping the soldiers out after they come back from a deployment or, pre-deployment, making them a little bit more resilient, if you will. So that's what we do.
You have a lot of bars, so you've done a lot of things. I don't know what they all stand for, but it looks impressive, ma'am.
Oh, well, thank you. I've been overseas twice. I went to Iraq and to Afghanistan. I've also done several biometric missions overseas to several countries, the Dominican Republic. I've been into Pakistan. Been several countries, worked biometrics. Did that for about 3-4 years, and I just now transferred to something else. The Army, we like to move you around a lot and make sure you don't get too complacent and try new things. So I definitely have traveled, and in Iraq I was a company commander, so that was, was very interesting and very rewarding.
Do you like the Pentagon work?
I do like it. The Pentagon is a lot different than, say, being stationed at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, or somewhere like that. We do things a little different in the Pentagon. A lot of bureaucracy, if you will, but I do like it, and I see a lot of generals. So I'm like the lowest ranking private captain that they have.
How did Missouri Valley, when you look back at it now, how does Missouri Valley and your education here fit into everything you've done?
Oh, gosh. I mean, honestly, Valley, everything with Valley kind of plays into how I am as a leader, because I've learned so much about being a leader. I mean, especially in the wrestling room from, Coach Mockles, I learned a lot about how to stick with something, how to be stern but also be compassionate, and I also, I learned a lot being an education major. I learned how to manage my time, how to manage people, how to, correctly portray what you want from someone, how to teach them a skill, and sometimes I learned how to not teach a skill, what not to do, and I think that's been very, very helpful. And honestly, I've been back at Valley for a day, and I've got like 50 hugs, and it's just so great to see everybody, and everyone is just so warm and welcoming, and I think that's also a sincerity that you learn at Valley, because it's a smaller school, is how to really connect with people.
Well, I'll tell you, everyone, I didn't know you, I wasn't here yet, but everyone who knew you said, oh my goodness, wonderful lady, and just a few minutes we've talked, I can see why you've been so successful. But congratulations on this award, because I know it's special to you. It's certainly special to this institution.
Well, it's very special to me, and I'm just so honored to be back at Valley, and it's just been a great weekend so far, and I can't wait for the game tomorrow and homecoming, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Young lady that really I had not met before yesterday, Molly Keith, a very sharp young lady, serving our country in the military, working now in the Pentagon, and boy, there's a success story for Missouri Valley, and we're just happy to have her and Hugh Dunn both as alumni of this institution.
I tell you, you name the people who graduated from here. It's a who's who in a lot of areas, and just some great people who've attended and graduated from Missouri Valley College, and got a good student body here right now. So the college really doing well, and congratulations to both Molly and Hugh.
All right, we'll get to some of the statistics of that first half. Couple of college scores for you. Kansas State beat Iowa State names 27-21. Good game there. How about this one, Joe? Oklahoma 63, Texas 21 this afternoon. Wow. And another game of interest, Alabama over Missouri 21-0. with 13:30 to go in the second quarter.
Well, and what was that? West Virginia had that wild game with Baylor where they put all those points on the board. They put a lot of points on the board against Texas, I believe, last week. So, boy, the Big 12 really turning into a dynamo for offense right now.
They're having fun. But the Tigers struggling. Here, the Vikings lead it 28-13. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the numbers of the first half in 30 seconds. Viking Sports Network.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called unexpected. So when it comes to your financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Diane Dudenhofer. A job loss, change in health, or loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Stop by our office at 170 West Court Street for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing, member SIPC.
Back at Greg Mitchell, I don't think this rain's going to quit. The radar showing rain all the way back into the state of Kansas, but winds have died down a little bit. The crowd hanging around, and second half should be rather interesting against number 3 Valley and number 12 Benedictine. How about some of the first half stats, Joe?
Well, the big stat, the Vikings lead at 28-13 at the half. That's the big one. But in terms of first downs, the Vikings have a 12-8 edge there. On the ground, the Viking defense holds Benedictine to 29 yards on 17 rushes, while the Vikings on 10 rushes, 129 yards. That's 12.9 yards a carry, but you've got that 89-yard run by Xavier Stewart in there. Passing, Noonan was 10 out of 19 for 113 yards. Bruce Reyes for the Vikings, 12 out of 22 for 191, including that 74-yard touchdown bomb to Seth Martinko. In terms of total yardage, 320 to 142, over a 2-1 advantage for the Vikings. In terms of fumbles, both teams have lost one fumble, and both of those fumbles ended up resulting in touchdowns. Penalties, Benedictine 2 for 10, the Vikes 4 for 40. And I get this, Ken, time of possession, Benedictine 17 minutes, 54 seconds. The Vikings 5 minutes and 46 seconds. Something has to be wrong.
No, that's
there,
not.
That can't be.
I think
they had the ball more than
probably 15 minutes, something like that. But
it says 5:46. So that has to be I know we had some big plays. We scored quickly a couple times, but
it doesn't surprise me that they do have more of a time possession. That's usually a stat that a lot of times that we had so many big plays, but it's probably 17 to 13 minutes, something like that, I would guess.
Well, for the Vikings, Xavier Stewart, the leading rusher, he carried the ball 6 times for 129 yards. Of course, he had that 89-yard touchdown run. Keith O'Neill, 3 carries for a total of 6 yards. Lenoris Dukes carried it once for 3 yards, banged it in for a touchdown. So, again, we said Reyes, 12 out of 22 passing, 191 yards. So, pretty good first half for the Vikes. I'm happy to be ahead, 2 touchdowns ahead of this team at halftime.
Yeah, I think you said, would you take a 28-13 halftime score? I would have said no question about that. Well, the Ravens coming back out. We haven't seen the Vikings yet. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, Joe's going to take a look at some high school scores from last night as we're getting close to high school district playoffs. And we'll talk about that in 30 seconds on the Viking Sports Network.
Erica here with Domino's Pizza in Marshall. Excited football season is here. For all you Missouri Valley College Viking fans, take advantage of our Viking special here at Domino's. Every Saturday, the Vikings football team plays. Home or away, I'm discounting all. That's right, folks. All my regular price pizzas, 50%, carry out only, unlimited. Where can you get great pizza half off? Right here at Domino's in Marshall. So save yourself money every Saturday with our Viking specials and save yourself time by ordering online, domino's.com, or call 886-6565. Good luck to the Vikings in today's game.
Joe, let's take a look at some of the high school scores from last night.
Well, big week in high school football. In the NCMC, Hannibal beats Marshall 28-8. Mobley knocks off Boonville 24-6. Fulton gets their first win. They beat Mexico 35-19. In non-conference play, Kirksville beats Trenton 24-7. With that Hannibal win last night, they wrap up the NCMC Conference Championship. In the I-70 Conference, it was Wellington Napoleon beating Oryx 60-12. Concordia 48-22 over Crest Ridge. Lone Jack beats Sweet Springs 21-12. And it was St. Paul over Santa Fe 35-6. With their win, Wellington Napoleon has at least a tie for the conference championship. They can win it outright if they beat Sweet Springs next week. Lewis and Clark, a very interesting conference. 3 teams tied for the top spot. Salisbury beats Fayette last night 56-6. Marceline whips Paris 49-14. And Westran 74-14 winners over Slater. Salisbury, Westran, and Marceline all 3-1 in the conference with 1 week left in the regular season. MRVC East, Higginsville wraps up at least a share of the conference championship. They beat Lexington 48-7. Holden beats Carrollton 41-8, and Richmond 41-12 winners over Knob Noster. MRVC West, Oak Grove wrapped up a share of the title. Coach Pat Richards' team all over Grain Valley 54-7. Excelsior Springs beat Pleasant Hill on Thursday night 41-21, and it was Harrisonville 40-8 winners over Odessa. And then finally in the West Central Conference, Kansas City Center, they beat Smith Cotton 42-7. Clinton knocks off Warrensburg 27-6, and it was St. Pius squeaking by O'Hara 20-19. Center and Clinton will play next week. They're both undefeated in conference play. That'll be a conference championship game.
And after next week, then they start this 1 versus 8, right?
Yeah, a new format this year in the playoffs. And normally, last night would have been the first week of district competition. The last 3 weeks are normally district play, but this year the State Activities Association is going to an 8-team district. So your first 9 weeks are regular season games, and then for week number 10, all teams are grouped into 8-team districts. Number 1, they seed the teams in each district. Number 1 plays number 8. Number 2 plays 7. 3 plays 6, and so on. You just go right on down the line until you have one winner in each district. And to get to the state championship, the bottom line is to get to the state championship, it takes exactly the same number of games as it has in the past.
All right, the rain coming down. By the way, after this football game, we'll take a little break, and then we'll have a couple of soccer matches as both Valley teams will take on Benedictine. So it'll be rainy and cool tonight here at Greg Mitchell as they will have the soccer matches tonight in a triple header with Benedictine. But we still have a half of a football game for you. Next week, busy sports schedule. Weather permitting, I guess this rain's supposed to move out of here because Monday and Tuesday, the MVC Invitational scheduled to take place at Foothills, men's and women's golf. Tuesday night, Missouri Baptist will be here for soccer, men's and women's action. Next Friday night, women's volleyball. Valley will be in the Haskell tournament. And then next Saturday, Joe and I will be in Lamoni, Iowa. Maybe snow on the ground in Lamoni.
Well, we've been there
week.
before when there has been snow.
Graceland will be with you at 1:30. Women's soccer, Valley will be at Graceland. Men's soccer, Valley's at Graceland. Our cross-country team will all be in Graceland.